Hey guys, Gav here. Just going live. We're down here at the hotel. Decided to go down to the beach today, and waiting for a part for the RV, so we can kind of keep exploring. So we're kind of in the same general geographic region. But I thought, well, let's do one of these quick videos. Look, I'm outside Nathan's room. There's a frog. Look at that frog. Say hi. Hello, frog. Hello. Hey guys, I see you in there. No, that's not. It's not a part of the room decor. It's a real frog. Hi there. That's Nathan's room. So this place, this would be a high end. Like this is a resort area, right? And so you can see that it's like, I mean, it's kind of a small little cottage type place. And let me show you my suite because we have all the kids, so I got a bigger room. The frog was probably glaring at me. Show you my suite real quick. And you can see that this here, I mean, we got a kitchen. Hi, Asher. We got a kitchen. We got a little living area. So there's a big open space here, and then two full rooms, two bathrooms. Nice little kids' room. They got their beds here. But sometimes things are old and used, but they're so well made. I mean, there's wood. Like it's different. It's not the veneer of the U.S. But
wait, Dad, leave it up, leave it up.
Leave it on. Leave it on.
It's a lighthouse.
Yeah, it's a lighthouse. And there's Sandra. Looks like she's in there changing diapers. But so we got our own room in here, and then a master bath. That's very nice. So this would be, right, just to kind of give you guys a picture. This is like $100 a night room. All right, the suite is. For both of our rooms, for Nathan and I, his is more of a normal size room, but still very nice. It's just not multiple bedrooms for Nathan, my brother, and his wife, and because they just have two little ones. And it was $150 for both, kind of a package deal. For the night, just down here. And this is the ocean. I mean, right here, there's nothing to see, but you probably hear like music playing off in the distance. And anyways, I just did a video on YouTube. If you want to know more about the hotels and kind of the cost of things and stuff like that, I just did a video on my Facebook page. I've been doing a series on my Facebook. For those of you that watch my streams here, I do quite a few streams over on my Facebook at facebook.com/callmegav. I did an update over there, a couple of updates about the abuses of the Bundys, although it looks like Ammon Bundy and some other guys may be getting out on pre-trial release along with Ryan. So go check that out. Hang on. I'm still recovering. It's been about a week from Montezuma's down here, kind of trying to get acclimated. And people say don't drink the water. I haven't been, but the fact is, like, I think if you're here long enough, like, your body has to get acclimated to the different things. It's not really that it's so unsanitary down here, like people say. Mexicans or people from other countries will come to the U.S. or Canada, and they'll get our equivalent of Montezuma's Revenge. It's different stuff because we're not very well traveled. So despite not drinking the water, it's almost like you kind of got to get through that part. And your body has to get acclimated. But, I don't know if it's the stress I deal with or what. I tend to get more sick than other people. So I've been kind of down with it for a little while. But most of the time I'm okay now. I just have my little up and down swings. Nasty bugs. I hate stomach bugs. But anyways, the Playa. We're down here at the Playa. It's not Playa. Okay, when I first came to Mexico, and I'm like, they like have places called like Club Playa, right? And Mexico does really like American marketing and culture because they're moving up down here, and they kind of look at us. They don't realize how corrupt we are because we talk about how great we are. So I think a lot of the people, the fact is there's more Mexicans leaving America than coming in because they go there and they realize we're nothing like we pretend to be. We're actually a fascist regime that is super expensive and super controlled and super hateful. Not that you people don't do well in the States sometimes. They can make money there, but it's not the same community. It's not the same environment. There's not the same neighborliness in the States at all that there is. So the Playa, I guess, Playa. I'm trying to get that language. You guys saw my video of getting pulled over earlier today that I posted on here. You can tell that I'm not very good at that language, but I'm working on it. All right. Thanks, guys. I see all your comments in there. Appreciate the support. Playa. So we're at the Playa. Now, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, man, these people are partiers. They're all playas, right? Because in the States, we call them playas. I'm like, these people are kind of dirty, aren't they? But I realized, now, to be fair, I have realized Mexicans are far better partiers. I'm not necessarily saying they're like more drunken and lascivious, although that certainly goes around, but I just mean they're far better at enjoying themselves. You know, you go down to the town square every night, people are hanging out, they're playing music. I mean, you'll get on a bus down here and a guy will just hop on the bus and be riding and start playing a guitar, and locals will throw in money. See, people just start businesses in whatever they want. Everything doesn't require a permit. So there's literally entertainers at the traffic lights, right? And they're trying to collect a few pesos. I mean, there was a guy, I pulled up to a traffic light a couple nights ago, and there was a guy on crutches. And I think this guy, you know, instead of just bums on the street corner begging, people assume that they have to do something down here, all right? So this guy is on crutches, and he goes out in front of the cars when the stoplight is on, and he juggles a couple of limes with one hand. Now, the show was pretty minimal, but what's interesting is the people, even though, yes, you could say, well, they have less and things aren't as veneered and there's not as much money, they're very giving down here. It's not just the tourists. These aren't really tourist towns we're hanging out in, guys. So I'm watching the car ahead of me, and the locals, I mean, they're giving the guy money for his little show that he's doing to try and get along. Well, he's on these crutches, and I think that's really cool. I give him 10 pesos. And I just think that's really neat. I mean, you remember if you guys saw the video I released this week about me coming down here, you'll see like the fire breather. That was one of the entertainers that'll just be at a stoplight, right? So there's a lot of community, a lot of social interaction. Sure, they have smartphones and internet and movies and computer and all that kind of stuff down here. But there's the town square is a place where people actually go. I mean, every town has a centro, guys. That's the central town square, and you can go there, and there's people with food carts and selling ice cream, and the old men are sitting on the park benches talking, and kids are playing in the square. And so we're like, oh, the USA is so much safer as our police kill 1,000 people a year, and we murder more babies than almost any time in history. But you know, America's great, America's safe. You come down here and just the culture, the caring for each other. It's not okay to just murder your babies down here. A lot of these things. So there's a lot more freedom in the general sense, I would say. Now, is there corruption? Yes, the cartels are an issue, particularly for people that are involved in that. And the government is involved in that a lot, it seems like. You come to the hotel here, they actually have little brochures at the hotel saying, do you want the corruption to end? Do you want your children to be free? Do you want to end the corruption in our country? And so it's like there's actually like these little get engaged, not in politics so much as in standing up for your freedom in the hotel. Imagine going into a Best Western or a Super 8 in the States, guys, and there's a flyer talking about how the government's corrupt, right? And this is the real problem. If you go to my page, my Facebook page, I actually just did a stream over there a few minutes, but if you go to my Facebook page, from the news article I shared about me leaving town, right? And they are, you go click in the comments of that, the people from my community, they're absolutely hateful. They detest me, guys. And it's not because I've wronged them in any way. I've served my community by speaking the truth. I've stood up by saying I'm not going to capitulate to these fake terrorist charges. I'm not going to pretend that I have to be forced to unlock my phone, right? But a lot of the people in my community, and arguably Grant County where I live is mostly government employees, so that doesn't help. I mean, these are the good old boys. They hate me. They call for my head. They want me taken back and locked in a cage because they don't want to have to admit that they're slaves. They don't want somebody telling them that, all right? Hey, Othello, good to see you. That's out near where I'm at. So, you know, there's good people everywhere. There's good people in my county, but the Blue ISIS and their crony buddies and their judges and their terrorists and their guns, they're running the country. And so we say, well, Mexico has a cartel problem, but in the U.S., our the blue line is the cartel, guys. I mean, that's just reality. Are the cartels a problem? Do the cartels kill people and particularly each other? Yeah, there's wars between the cartels, and I'll tell you a little story about that. That's pretty disturbing. I definitely, my heart's been a little heavy about it today. We were driving along. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this. We were driving along today, coming down to the beach, and we're going through a little town, and there was a dead guy on the side of the road, and yeah, I mean, he was laying there and he had been shot. And at first I thought it was a cop, but I don't believe it was. And you know, I mean, I didn't stop. There was a van, a pickup load of cops that had just showed up. They were so much more, you know, in the States, right? They'd be blocking roads and freaking out and playing all tactical to try and act like they were saving the day. And these guys were just taking care of business there. It looked to me like, and I want to be clear, like, Nathan looked on the news after we stopped for the night, and it's like headline news. It's not like in Chicago where if you get murdered, the news won't even talk about it, right? So think about this for a second. We say, well, I saw a guy that had just been murdered today, and that's awful. It makes me sick. But at the same time, Chicago has like 5 murders a day. I mean, if you get murdered in a large town in the States, you probably won't even make the news. You'll be on the back page somewhere, right? It's just, you're par for the course. You're another statistic. So is the murder rate higher in Mexico statistically? Yes, it is. And that is because of the cartel violence, which is funded and promoted by the USA. The drug war was once again, the USA's got their fingers in everything. They want to destabilize everybody and keep their own people in fear, all right? So, but yeah, we looked into this. The news isn't saying all of what happened, but somebody got shot, and it was basically a hit. It was like a cartel hit of these guys rolled up and they shot this guy. I didn't see the shooting, and I'm not. Anyways, but I hate violence, guys. The violence that we have towards each other has to stop. But don't pretend that it's not this way in the States. You know, is there less murder rate right now? Yeah, because the U.S. government has intentionally escalated and helped to create a drug war down here. So, and they want there to be chaos in the world. They want Americans to think that they're the bestest and the safest and not realize that they're complete slaves. So the message is always the same. And I was disturbed when I saw this, but I was also encouraged because, you know, it wasn't like the community's okay with this. And I see this a lot. They're not okay. You see the cards talking against corruption in the rooms because the government, just like our government, is in bed with the crooks, right? And the communities aren't okay with the violence, with the abuse. They're far more engaged. In the USA, when something bad happens, people say, oh, we should hide that away. Government should fix that. There should be more police, right? The mindset of the USA is, as long as I don't have to see it, it isn't happening. And so we have a lot of veneer and a lot of things to cover up the ugly stuff. Prisons are a great example of that. We imprison more people per capita than any nation in the world, right? So we are the worst. We're the most third world when it comes to justice in the USA, even though we have this great Bill of Rights and things like that. So we got to learn to see the differences, is what I'm saying. We got to learn to see the differences. We got to learn to understand the difference between propaganda and reality. And it's encouraging to see people down in Mexico where the government fears the people far more. That's the main thing I'm seeing. The government still fears the people down here. In the USA, the government doesn't fear the people. They do whatever the heck they want to us. And I see people more engaged. I see them caring more. Sure, there's crime, there's problems with the cartels that have been escalated by the USA, but people aren't okay with it. People aren't just like, you know, we like to portray it's like, oh, it's Mexico. They're just like, oh yeah, we kind of live in a hellhole and it's fine. No, these people have communities, they have families, they got rallies, and so it's interesting to see that culture. But anyways, just wanted to share a few thoughts with you guys from down here. I know the live streams are a little longer and we're kind of all over the place just talking about different things. But it's interesting how many trolls and frauds and liars and all this stuff. I did a stream this morning. Hey, buddy. I did a stream this morning about the provocateurs down in Vegas trying to undermine the Bundy trial. Go check that out if you want to know more. And the video I just did over there as well. Follow my Facebook page. I'm doing a series over there called Real Mexico. You know, I did one down about street tacos last night. We were down at the street taco, and I'm just showing these different sides of the streets of Mexico and what it's really like out here. So if you guys kind of want to see more and get past the propaganda, I don't do as many of those videos here. I do some of the more casual videos and the quick videos on my Facebook page sometimes, facebook.com/CalmandGav. And don't let yourself be defined by loyalists and trolls and cowards. Man, we have a lot of those on here tonight, don't we? You know, never let a person who refuses to stand on the front lines with you tell you how it should be done. That's not how it works. And never let, if you're having to stand up and not play the game of your government, it's ironic, it's truly unbelievable that the trolls have the gall to say, you know, you're a coward because you won't sit down and lick the boots of the government and play it their way. I opted out of playing court the way terrorists want to. I opted out of a kangaroo court. I opted out of being threatened by a prosecutor. I said, you know what, I'm not going to tolerate that. I'm not going to tolerate your lies in court documents. Guys, calm. I'm not going to tolerate the perjury in the police reports. I'm not going to tolerate the refusal to find actual probable cause. I'm not going to tolerate, if I have an option, if you have a gun to your head, there's only so much you can do. But we can get out of range of the gun, guys. We can get some distance and some time and you know, file some motions or don't file motions or whatever. But don't ever let someone convince you that you're a coward. I don't need to be convinced because I know my stand. And I do appreciate your guys' encouragement. But don't ever let someone, because I know it's hard sometimes when thousands of people troll you. And it takes a while to kind of harden to that, and that alone is a scary thing. But don't ever let someone tell you that you're a coward because you won't surrender to criminals. The person telling you that is a coward, and that's literally what all these people are telling me. They're saying, Gavin's a coward, he abandoned us, he abandoned the USA, all these lies. Gavin's a coward because he would not surrender to the enemy. That's not even rational. I mean, like, that line of thinking is like, but this is how truly insane the loyalists are. Now, look, I'm down here in Mexico. I'm getting the lay of the land. I'm seeing what I want to do from here. But the message is, in the large sense, I won't comply with the tyranny of Garth Dano and Prosecutor Mark and Patrick Kennedy. I will not tolerate lying down and being a slave to these psychopaths. They're terrorists, they're criminals, they should be regarded as armed and dangerous. The judges are breaking the law, the police are breaking the law, the prosecutors are breaking the law. And I don't just mean the Constitution and human rights, I mean literally they are breaking federal crimes by bringing these malicious charges. So there's no crime in saying I will not comply with tyranny. And it's certainly not cowardice. As to what comes next in my case and all that kind of stuff, we're just going to see what happens, guys. Going to do some exploring down here and go from there, all right? So thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Trying to stay strong down here. Appreciate your support and appreciate your love and prayers. Stand up. I want my country to be free. And I can't help but do that very effectively by being locked in a cage. And there's good people down here. We need more Lavoys. We need more Edward Snowdens. We need more Ammon Bundys. We need more Kelly Stewarts and John Lambs and Jeff Winehouses and Schaefer Cox and Josh Martinez's. We need to set the prisoners free. We need people like Leonard Peltier and the blacks and the natives. We need to empty the prisons where everyone's been locked away without due process. We need freedom again, and that's only going to happen when this current system ends and falls apart and goes away because it's unsustainable, it's unlawful, it's perverse, it's satanic, it's tyranny. We need traitors like Donald Trump and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton to be stopped with all their crony, swampy, blue line buddies. None of these people will defend the Constitution. They are at war with the Constitution, and they are supporting the blue ISIS, who is at war with the Constitution. We need to be better than them. We need to be men of peace. Sometimes people say, Gavin, we need to do violence. We need to get even. No, I'm not out for vengeance. I'm out for giving them the due process that they've denied us, and being a man of peace and justice and liberty. Never think you can be free if you behave like them. All right? So, all right, guys, peace out. Keep speaking. Don't let people deceive you. Don't be deceived by politicians and liars and frauds that are waging war on the Constitution, prosecuting patriots and political prisoners, and filling up the prisons and supporting blue ISIS. Doesn't matter if those traitors are Donald Trump's or your local legislator or Barack Obama's. We got to start getting real, standing up, speaking out, loving our neighbor, and finding our courage. Money Mac, thanks. I appreciate it. Do appreciate you guys' support, helping with some of the expenses of the trip, and kind of keeping these videos going, showing you guys what it's really like down here. If you do want to help out, you can also go to my website, callmegav.com/donate if you want to throw a few bucks my way to help keep the channel thriving and keep things going. Bitcoin over there too, but I'll keep speaking anyhow. It's not about the money, guys. All right, peace. Take care.